Okay, what was the general equation? The general equation is like some summation running from 0 to infinity, uh, r minus n into r minus n minus 1 x raised to power r minus n minus 2 plus uh, m into m plus 1 minus r minus n plus 1 into x raised to power r minus n into cn is equal to 0. Okay, so after the initial equation, from the initial we find out that this r is equal to m and r is equal to minus m minus 1. You have to remember it because we need to substitute all these values later on. Okay, so for the reconciliation, what we do actually we compare, we equate the coefficient of some term, general term x raised power r minus s equal to 0. So the recurrence relation can be found by equating the coefficient of reconciliation. Equating coefficient of x raised power r minus s to 0. So see, we have to actually, Saharish, we have to equate the coefficient of r minus s equal to 0. Coefficient, equating coefficient of. So I'm not bothered about the summation because equation is like this. So we need to equate the coefficient of this, coefficient of x raised power r minus s. So to make this term x raised power r minus 1, we need to give the certain value to this n so that it will be r minus s. Okay, you tell me what will be the value to this particular n so that it will be r minus s. It will be s plus 2, right? So it will be s, rather I will say that s minus 2. S minus 2 because that minus will make it. So from here it will be n will be equal to s minus 2. Okay, and from this term simply n will be equal to s, right? Okay, so what will this term now become? Cn, it will be c s minus 2, shabai, because n is s minus 2 in this particular term. Okay, then it will be r, n is s minus 2, so it will be r minus s minus 2, right? Because n is s minus 2, sorry, so it will be s plus 2 and r minus s, n is, so it will be r, n is s minus 2, it will be r minus s plus 2 minus 1, that will be plus 1, plus 1, okay, plus then some other term plus m into m minus 1 will remain as such, m into m plus 1 minus, now r minus s, it will be r because n is here s, r minus s into simply r minus s minus plus 1 into c, r is s here, cs. So that will be equal to 0. Okay, or you can say that just making these terms, I will say that the cs will be equal to minus this term. I am going to take it here. It will be minus r minus s plus 2 into r minus s plus 1 divided by m into m plus 1 minus r minus s into r minus s plus 1 c s minus 2. Okay. Okay. So this is the reconciliation. Now I will just substitute the different values of r to find out the coefficients. You have to remember. So just ये equation इसको मैंने यहाँ पे ले लिया है. Then I divide by this thing. Okay. Now C1 is equal to C3 is equal to C5 is equal to so on. They are all equal to 0 because we already obtained that. Now we need to find out only the C0. So that can be obtained by substituting the values of a R. Now we know that the R has two values. Since R has two values, one is R is equal to M and R is equal to minus M minus 1, right? So let us try to get the two. So we will get two different solutions, one corresponding to R equal to 1 and other corresponding to R equal to minus M minus 1. The case first, when R is equal to M. Okay, what will this equation become? The equation become CS will now be equal to minus R is M. So it will become simply M minus S plus 2 into R is M minus S plus 1 divided by M into M plus 1 minus this is R is M minus S into M minus S plus 1 C S minus 2, right? You can just further simplify this a bit. The left right hand the numerator I will remain as such, but denominator में थोड़ा मैं इसको simplify करूंगा. I will write down this as numerator. You will write that down as such C S minus 2. But numerator में देखिए मैं इसको क्या करूँ. It will be M square plus M minus let me just keep it minus sign here so that ऐसे थोड़ा minus M square minus MS minus plus M minus MS minus minus plus S square minus S, right? So when you are going to multiply it by this minus sign, so this will become, this will minus, this will become plus. ये मैं हटा रहा हूँ यहाँ पे. This will become minus, this will become plus, this will become minus, and this will become plus. So कौन सी term आपकी cancel हो जाएगी? This M square and M square will go. This plus M and minus M will go. So I will have 2ms minus s square. यहाँ पे मेरा बच जाएगा 2ms minus s square plus s. So इसके बदले में न्यूमरेटर डिनोमिनेटर में खाली में ये लिखूंगा. So that particular reconciliation I will write down this as, so cs will be equal to minus m minus s plus 2 into m minus s plus 1 divided by 2ms plus minus s square plus s c s minus 2. Is it okay? Is it okay? Or further, see, I can just further cs will be equal to, I will just further simplify minus m, because s I can just take out here, m minus s plus 2 into m minus s plus 1 divided by, if I am going to take s common here, so it will be twice m minus s plus 1, ठीक है, into c s minus 2. Now c0 c4 I am not bothered about that, just substitute for s is equal to 2, what I will get. Now for s is equal to 2, so this will be c2 will now be equal to, शाबाश यहाँ पे आप substitute करिएगा, it will be minus
m into
very good, m into m minus 1, right, m minus 1 divided by for s is equal to, it will be 2 into
2 into 2m
okay, very good, 2m
plus 1
minus no minus 1, 2m into minus 2 will
minus
make it minus 2, so it will be minus 1
1.
c 0. Okay, so this is the one. For s is equal to 4, so c4 will now be equal to, shabash, for s is equal to 4, it will be minus m for s is equal to 4, so it will be 4, so it will be m minus 2, right? For s is equal to 4, it will be m minus 3, m minus 2, m minus 3 divided by, now for s is equal to 4, it will be 4 into twice m is equal to 4, na? Sorry, twice s is equal to 4, so it will be 2m minus 3,
3.
right? Into c, 4 minus 2 is c2. Now c2 you can substitute it here, so you will say that the c4 will now be equal to minus, when you will substitute it as a c0, it will be m into m minus 1 into m minus 2 into m minus 3 divided by 4 into 2 into 2m minus 1 into 2m minus 3 and c0, because all other coefficients I need to find it in terms of a c0. Similarly, you can find out a c6, so forth. I'm not going to, you can just generalize also from this.
सर ये पॉजिटिव होगा ना, ऊपर भी माइनस है नीचे भी माइनस है.
माइनस नीचे कहाँ है?
सर C2 में भी है और C4 में भी है ना माइनस प्लस
the other will be plus now. Yes, you are right. The other will be plus then. So यहाँ पे भी ये plus हो जाएगा फिर. ठीक है? One will be minus, other will be plus. You are right. Okay, and so on. Okay, fine. So now we find out the coefficients, then we can just write down the solution. Solution. You know that in a solution is given by summation n running from 0 to infinity, c n x raised power r minus n, right? R minus n. So that means we have the solution like so it will be solution is like c0 x raised power r क्या है हमारे पास m. For the case r is equal to m n is 0, okay, plus c1 x raised power m minus 1 plus c2 x raised power m minus 2 plus c3 x raised power m minus 3 plus c4 x raised power m minus 4, right? These are the solution. Now I will substitute all these values. Now c1, c3, c5, they, you know that they are all equal to 0. So what could be the solution then? The solution will be, so y will be equal to Shabaj. Now C0 is common to all. In the first term, it will be x raised power m simply, right? Minus C2 क्या है आपका? C2 is your m into m minus 1 divided by m into m minus 1 divided by 2 into 2m minus 1, okay, into x raised power m minus 2, x raised power m minus 2. Okay, the other term will be plus m into m minus 1, sorry, C3 is again 0, so the fourth term will be m into m minus 1 ye into m minus 2 into m minus 3 divided by 4 into 2 into 2m minus 1 into 2m minus 3. Now C0 मैं already बाहर लिख चुका हूँ, x raised power C4 का है m minus 4, ठीक है, plus some other terms. This is a solution corresponding to your one of the root r is equal to 0, sorry, r is equal to m, right? Similarly, so this is the first solution, right? This is the first solution. Now we will try to find out the another one corresponding to r equal to, so that is the case second is when r is equal to minus m minus 1, right? So when r is equal to minus m minus 1, I know that first I will try to write down the reconciliation against, you know that cs is equal to minus क्या है r minus s plus 2 into r minus s plus 1 divided by m into m plus 1 minus r minus s into r minus s plus 1 c s minus 2, यही है ना reconciliation. Now पहले केस में मैंने r को m दिया था. Now I will just substitute r, this m is equal to r is equal to minus m minus 1. Okay, so what, when r is equal to this, what will be the reconciliation? Now cs will be now equal to minus r को minus m minus 1 minus s plus 2. पहले मैं दे देता हूँ, उसके बाद उसको मैं फर्दर सॉल्व करूंगा, अदरवाइज थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन रह जाता है इसमें. सो सिमिलरली माइनस m minus 1 minus m minus 1 minus s plus 1, okay, divided by m into
m plus 1
एक सेकेंड, divided by okay, my m into m plus 1 minus uh, r minus, okay, this is minus m minus 1 minus s into minus m minus s plus 1, sorry, minus m minus 1 minus s plus 1 into cs minus 2. Okay, now see, इसको जरा further simplify करोगे ये थोड़ा सा और आसान हो जाएगा. It will be now minus, this will be minus into minus will make it okay. uh, now अगर for example यहाँ से मैं minus term बाहर ले लूं इसमें से, ठीक है. अब let me do it in two steps. मैं इसको लिखता हूँ minus m minus s minus 1 sorry plus 1 plus 1. ओके, अब यहाँ पे मैं लिखूंगा इसको माइनस एम माइनस एस माइनस एम माइनस एस बस. नाउ दोनों जगह से मैं क्या करूंगा, आई विल जस्ट टेक द माइनस साइन बाहर, यहाँ से भी और यहाँ से भी. ठीक है. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे इसको थोड़ा सा और फर्दर सिंपलीफाई करते हैं. पहले m इंटू इसको मैं लिखूंगा m स्क्वायर प्लस m माइनस, अब इसको जरा मल्टीप्लाई करिएगा. अब पहले मैं इसको ये करूंगा माइनस m माइनस 1 माइनस s इंटू माइनस m माइनस s बस. माइनस 1 एंड प्लस गेट कैंसल आउट. ओके, सी एस माइनस 2. यहाँ से जब मैं माइनस साइन इसको दोनों को बाहर लिखूंगा ना, माइनस एंड माइनस विल बिकम प्लस, बट दिस साइन विल रिमेन देयर. अपना माइनस साइन यहीं पे रह जाएगा. इट विल बी नाउ m प्लस s माइनस 1 into m plus s, right, divide by m square plus m minus, now see minus again यहाँ पे यही चीज करूंगा मैं. अगर मैं माइनस साइन यहाँ पे बाहर लिखूंगा, ये माइनस और ये माइनस, तो ये आपका हो जाएगा m प्लस s प्लस 1 इंटू m प्लस s. ठीक है, सी एस माइनस 2. इसको जरा फर्दर सिंपलीफाई करिएगा. न्यूमरेटर ऑफ एस सच रखिएगा, डिनोमिनेटर में थोड़ा चेंज करूंगा. मैं डिनोमिनेटर वाला टर्म फर्दर सिंपलीफाई यहाँ पे करूंगा, फिर मैं जनरल टर्म यहाँ पे लिखूंगा. सो आई विल राइट डाउन दिस इज m स्क्वायर प्लस m माइनस, दिस विल बी m स्क्वायर प्लस ms ms ओके प्लस ms प्लस s स्क्वायर प्लस
minus s.
प्लस m माइनस प्लस s. ठीक है. now this m square and this m square will get cancel out, this plus m and minus m will get cancel out. I will be left with ms sm plus sm, that is 2 ms मगर माइनस माइनस 2 ms. इसको मैं यहाँ एक बार फिर से लिख लेता हूँ, माइनस m प्लस s माइनस 1 इंटू m प्लस s डिवाइड बाई m माइनस 2 ms minus s square minus plus s. Okay, cs minus 2 और this is equal to cs is equal to this. ठीक है यहाँ से. So now what I will do, I will just take the minus s बाहर मैं निकाल दूँ. cs I can write down this as m plus s
माइनस एस मत आएगा सर,
यहाँ पे
माइनस एस
हाँ
यहाँ
ये
पे
यहाँ पे माइनस,
m
yes, this is minus s because this is again minus s. So m plus s minus 1 into m plus s divided by, I will just take s में बाहर ले लेता हूँ, so it will be now 2 minus 2s में 2m plus s plus 1. ठीक है, minus और minus will cancel out, c s minus 2. Okay, now this is the final reconciliation, and now I can give the different values of s to obtain the coefficients. Okay, so for s is equal to, so for s is equal to 2, for s is equal to 2, what will be the value? So for s it will be c2 will be equal to, okay, यहाँ पे फिर से करिएगा m plus 2 minus 1 into m plus 2 divided by 2 into 2 2s are go 2m
Plus 3.
plus 2 plus 1, 2m plus 3. Okay, c 0. ठीक है. Further simplify, implies c2 will be equal to m plus 1 into m plus 2 divided by 2 into 2m plus 3, c 0. So this is the one coefficient. Similarly, I can find out, let me rub it. It's very easy, but it's little time consuming. You have to do all these things, otherwise the things are, it's little time consuming to find out the series solution. It's little time consuming. Okay, so now just do it yourself. What will, for s is equal to 4, now c4 will now be equal to, from this very equation, So it will be equal to shabash m plus 4 plus minus
M
1
plus 3.
into
M plus 3 to M
m
plus 4.
plus m plus 4. Okay, so let me write it here
Divide by
simply. अब मैं इसको यहीं पे लिख देता हूँ. So I will just write it simply m plus 3. To avoid one more step, m plus 3, m plus 4 divided by shabash. Now
4
s
into
is 4
2m.
into 2m
2m plus
2M
5. Plus
plus
5.
5. Very good. 2m plus 5 into c2. Now, so now on substituting this c2, so or you can say that this c4 will be equal to now m plus 1 into m plus 2 into m plus 3 into m plus 4, right, divided by 4 into 2 into 2m plus 3 into 2m plus 5 c0. Similarly I can find out the c6. c6 क्या होगा अगर फायदा भी मैं आपसे कहूंगा, four terms इसमें आ रहे, it will be m plus 1, m plus 2, m plus 3, m plus 4, m plus 5, m plus 6. So it will be 2m plus 3, 2m plus 5, 2m plus 7, right? So you can just, this is 8 into 4 into 2. So you can just generalize it from this very term. Similarly, I can find out the c6, c7 and so on and so forth. Okay. Okay. So now since as we find out these c2 and c4, I can just write down the solution. So the another solution corresponding to r equal to minus m minus 1 is okay, let me find out write down the solution first. उससे आपको और फिर आसानी हो जाएगी. Y will be equal to like c0 x raised to power m plus c1 x raised to power m minus 1 plus c2 x raised to power m minus 2 r minus 2 rather x raised to power m minus r. So it will be x raised to power r x raised to power r minus 1 x raised to power r minus 2 plus c3 x raised to power r minus 3 plus c4 x raised to power r minus 4 plus so on, right? Okay, so now I have obtained all these c1 c2 c3, they are again zeros, so I will write down the solution now will be equal to now c0 x raised to power what is r minus m minus 1 minus m minus 1, right? Okay, plus c2 क्या है आपका, c2 is your ये m plus 1 into m plus 2, right, divided by 2 into 2m plus 3 into x raised to power r is m minus 1, so minus 1 is already there, so it will be minus m minus 3 r minus this x raised to power r minus 2 is already there, ये टर्म के ये तो 0 है, r minus 2 minus m minus 2, so it will be minus m minus 3. Okay, plus the other term will be now m into not m plus 1 m plus 2, okay, m plus 3 m plus 4 divided by 4 into 2 into 2m plus 3 into 2m plus 5 into sorry x raised to power minus m minus 5, right, minus m minus 5 plus so some other terms because x raised to power c4 4 minus m minus 1 minus 4, that is minus m minus 1, that is fine. ठीक है. Okay, so this is a complete solution. So we find out the two different solutions. So one solution is like जो हमने अभी find किया था okay, so वो solution हमने क्या लिखा था, this solution. So this is the एक solution ये है. So this is the solution corresponding to your r is equal to m, and then we find out the another solution. This is for the corresponding to r equal to minus m minus 1. ठीक है. Okay. Now similarly, agar for example you can also prove, don't worry, agar if somebody is comfortable with finding in the solution like summation over n c n x raised to power n plus r या r plus n, that is one and the same thing, you can also find it the solution, you can just try it yourself. And I just give you this as an assignment, ये एक assignment मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ try to find out the solution using in as an ascending powers of the x. ठीक है, and you just see whether the solution will be the same or not. ठीक है, so you will arrive at the same result. You just find out whether अगर आपको ये comfortable लगा, but in case of Legendre equation the solution is
हर करने की m+4 फैक्टोरियल
हाँ
सर m+4 फैक्टोरियल करना ये हर करने लिखिए
we will do that. फिलहाल में इसको we will just हमें Legendre polynomial we have to generalize it. मैं आज वो चीज आपको नहीं बताना चाहता हूँ because I think फिलहाल आप इसको यहाँ पे I will just इसको solution जो Legendre this is what we mean at the Legendre polynomials. इनको ही हम since this is a solution to your Legendre differential equation इनको हम Legendre functions बोलते हैं. ये Legendre function या Legendre polynomial होते हैं. I will write down that in that particular form, but in not today. In the next lecture, I will but तब तक आप जो है this you just try to find out the solution to this Legendre differential equation in the ascending powers of x. ये अब आपको मैं assignment दे रहा हूँ. Try to find out the solution in the ascending powers of x and see whether you will arrive at the same result or not. It will be the same. The solution will be the same. But usually हम क्या करते हैं? We are actually taking this in the descending powers of x. अगर आप किसी book पे जाओगे, they are always taking it in the descending powers of x. So we find out two different solutions for this Legendre इनको हम Legendre function या Legendre polynomial भी बोलते हैं. ठीक है? So with that, I'm just concluding it here because how we will write it in terms of this, I will just come to that in the next lecture. I will show you how I can just write it in terms of a factorial form, m-1 factorial or whatever the case will be, right? So for the time being, so we will just find out some of the Legendre polynomials in the next lecture, genetic functions for the Legendre polynomial. Okay, fine. So I hope you have understood this today's lecture. Is it? Do you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you have to understand this. There is nothing like any. I think मतलब ऐसा कोई बात नहीं है इसमें कि जिसको understand करना हो. Just all you need to do these steps. You have to do this exercise, but it will be easy if you just repeat the same steps on your notebook, so you will remember it. Huh? Just minus, plus, and all that options to find out the reconciliation initial equation. वो बस it's very quite easy. Okay.